Okay, welcome back to 1d8+1 Leonal Orbs. This is Chad D. Brown, and I'm talking type thing about spells. This is now part 3 of the Deming SageBlock 9, and we looked at summon monsters type thing, but now we're going to look at other concepts with the Precocious Apprentice spell, and we need to start back with certain spells here type thing. Look here now in that type of sense, there's some dashes, but one, and then fours at the bottom of that page on page 55. Those are 4 per day spells taking that type of sense. So those summons are going to grow. And in that type of thing, from growing, I shouldn't start it with that type of thing because I'm getting ahead of myself. From its possibility type thing in that type of sense, with the Precocious Apprentice, it said you can pick a second level spell. But from there, you can become a school specialization type thing. And from there, which you should go to, let's see, here. And now, your school specialization could be abjuration, or conjuration, or evocation type thing in that type of sense. In an abjuration type thing, or a conjuration, we did the summon monster 2 and got a 20 hit point beetle type thing in that type of sense from the 2d8+4 type thing in that type of sense with acid spray. And in that type of thing, in abjuration type thing, you could do resist energy type thing as your second level spell, or protection from arrows, always makes DMs happy. And from that type of thing, because it makes if a mage type thing who stays in the back line gives that to the paladin at first level character type thing, or to the barbarian type thing, they were planning to whittle down the barbarian or paladin as they enclosed on the enemy groups like spears or arrows, I think. I'm not sure if it particularly has to be arrows, if not range attack missiles type thing. So in that type of thing, if the goblins threw those things at them or shot or projected them at them type thing, they wouldn't have to worry because this protection spell would be like a force field for them as they closed type thing. They wouldn't take any damage, arrive at the new battle line fresh, and start cutting down goblins and all DM toys. And that's exciting. And so in that type of sense, in the jazz or in the rock or in the country, you get the idea. So from there type thing in that type of sense, you can take out the summon 2s type thing and consider it at first level type thing, say mass bull strength or protection from arrows type thing. Subject gains +4 to strength for 1 minute per level in combat terms type thing. That is in the book type thing in that type of sense. So we change here type thing back to the quote-unquote glossary, and in that type of thing, that's the PHB, that's page 305, and then we have to, where are we going here, and round, there we go, from the top type thing in that type of sense, that's coming down from the top, and round. A 6-second unit of game time used to manage combat. Every combatant may take at least one action every round. So in that's 60 seconds in a minute. So that's 60 seconds divided by 6, there's 10 rounds in a minute. So in that type of thing, that's perfect type thing in that type of sense. With that summon 2 type thing, you can exchange all those out from our previous 2 videos type thing in the Deming SageBlock 9 type thing to create this chart specialist and intelligence bonus spell type thing in that type of sense. And from there, we're going to take those out type thing, and we're going to sub in bull strength here. And then we're going to sub out bull strength here. And then we're going to sub out bull strength, or summon monster here and put in bull strength here. And now we've got 3 bull strengths type thing at first level for your character at first level to hand out to 2 melee assistants and the paladin or the barbarian and other fighters type thing. And they've got their rage. I believe the, what do you call, they're both boost to strength type thing. One's an ability type thing in that type of sense, just like 7th grade English sentence breakdown. The other one's a magic enhancement type thing in that type of sense. And so magic and ability are different words, and I think they stack type thing on the character, and then whatever your base strength was type thing in that type of sense. So with the table type thing, if that's 14, just like f of x type thing in that type of sense, which is like y, and then x, 14 plus the ability type thing in that type of sense, so rage, that was 4, and then the bull strength spell type thing, which is 4, so that's 18 plus 4, and that's 22 total. So that's awesome. That's perfect type thing in that type of sense. But then you're like, you know what? I'm missing the Magic Missile stuff that I had going on with my 15 beforehand type thing in that type of sense. So you rewind all that back type thing. You make this 15 type thing in that type of sense. And then versus this Shambhala backline, I might make a Magic Missile type thing in that type of thing if I roll that. And or if I memorized or prepared it. And so in that type of sense, you're going to keep your Magic Missiles. Now I've got to change out my summons type thing here and here. And that's going to be here. And organize my spells type thing there. And that's my summon 2s. And that's my Scorching Rays. And from there type thing, I'm going to take out the those are summon 1s. And I'm going to put Magic Missiles back in for those first level spells. The Bowstrings are second level spells through Precocious Apprentice. And I'm going to take that out type thing in that type of sense. And I'm going to add in my Scorching Ray chart one, or from the feat one of the Precocious Apprentice as a character feat or a human racial feat at first level type thing, because they get an extra feat. And I'm going to add in a Specialist one because that's a second level spell and a different spell level from the Magic Missile type thing. Magic Missile type thing here is let's go, a first level Sorcerer Wizard spell. And then that's Evocation, that's Burning Hands and Magic Missile. And then from there type thing, that's second level type thing in that type of sense. And that's going to be, that's Bullstring type thing in that type of sense. And we were replacing Summon Monster 1 in Conjuration with that. So that's Conjuration, Summon Monster 1 there. And then, so now we're going to replace those Bullstrings type thing that we had memorized. And we're going to put that in. And that's going to be Magic Missiles type thing and Scorching Rays. Now we haven't not looked at the Scorching Rays type thing in that type of sense. So we're going to, once again, we had those for a Bullstring type thing. We pulled that out and that was a Scorching Ray. So in that type of thing, now we do Magic Missiles from our chart, Specialist, and Intelligence bonus. And we do Scorching Rays. And that's an Intelligence bonus there for 14 or 16 Intelligence type thing. That's one from being a Specialist Wizard, and that's one from the Precocious feat, and that's 3 of them. And since that counted as a second level spell, which is different from your first level spell, it also gets a bonus type thing in that type of sense, and you add those together. Now in that type of thing, now you have the 15 damage type thing in that type of sense, and we're going to go ahead and bump that to Shambhala thing there type thing, and that's 15 there in that type of sense, and we're going to wipe those type thing with our first, second, and third levels. First, second, and third per day Scorching Ray type thing, that type of sense, while still at first level. And we're going to pull those babies out type thing, and we're going to pull these aside type thing here, and we're going to make kind of a platform for them there, over there, and we're going to need here, and then here, and now we're going to bring these Scorching Rays over type thing here, and then here, and then here type thing in that type of sense. And those are our Scorching Rays. And now we're going to go to the Scorching Ray spell. Whoops, that was close. That's Scorching Ray. That's a Sorcerer Wizard 2 on page 274. And in that type of thing, that you blast your enemies with fiery rays. You may fire 1 ray plus 1 additional ray for every 4 levels beyond 3rd to a maximum of 3 rays at 11th level. Each ray requires a ranged touch attack to hit and deals 46 points of fire damage. The rays may be fired at the same or different targets, but all bolts must be aimed at targets within 30 feet of each other and fired simultaneously. Now, in that type of thing, that's a very complicated spell type thing. From there type thing, here, let's go back here to the thing, page 135. And in page 135 type thing, that type of sense, it's an attack roll. Range attack roll is a d20 plus base attack bonus plus dexterity modifier type thing in that type of sense. So your dex modifier, especially for elf mages type thing, with the bonus to their dexterity type thing in that type of sense, or if you're playing Pathfinder human, you can put your bonus dexterity +2 in intelligence, or dexterity type thing to make that ranged touch attack easier to throw. And with the touch attack type thing, certain bonuses do not count for them type thing and are excluded. In that type of sense, I believe we have to go back to a glossary type thing here in the back, and that's touch type thing here. That's, there we go. That's touch attack. An attack in which the attacker must connect with an opponent but does not need to penetrate armor. Touch attacks may be either melee or ranged. Target's armor bonus. Shield. I'm assuming the fire is not being grasped on but thrown from afar type thing. or lobbed at them type thing in that type of sense. The target's armor bonus, shield bonus, and skyhook 3.2 towards them. The target's armor bonus, shield bonus, and natural armor bonus, including any enhancement bonuses to those values, do not apply to AC against a touch attack. So not much of anything. They're base 10, I believe, in armor class without any other bonus going in. So then that's a D20 versus their D10 type thing, which are dex modifiers. So if you roll a 20 plus 14 dex, that's 14, that's 5 points for the dex, and 14 intelligence, that's 5 points, so a total of 10 points in character build. But in that type of sense, that's D20 plus 2, or 16, which would be a D20 plus 3. Because the 16 has not the same modifier as the 14 type thing, it's one higher. So in that type of sense, that's plus 3 type thing, so roll a 20, 23 versus 10 armor class, that definitely is a hit. And then you roll your damage type thing, and that was 46 points of damage. So we need to turn that to the potentiality type thing of 46. Okay. And that's the first Scorching Ray type thing in that type of sense, and that's a pip. And we cast that type thing in that type of sense, but we didn't cast the other two ones type thing, like up a card pipping there in that type of sense. So we're gonna go and we're gonna go get some more D6s. And from those D6s type thing, we're gonna do some D6 there type thing. We haven't cast this one yet, so we're gonna pull some more D6s from anywhere we can find it type thing. Now it's true that out of that type of thing, there's a chance that you could roll different numbers type thing. I want to go with some numerical ones type thing here. And that's a 6, and that's a 6 type thing in that type of sense. And that's a D6 type thing. Actually, I probably could have left that alone type thing. That's 6 here. That's 6. And that's 6 type thing there. And I have to switch to my dot 6s type thing because I ran out of D6s. And we cast that spell, so it also gets a pip. And so, boom. So now got a Scorching Ray card there, and no pip on top of it. Gotta cast it again in the day type thing in that type of sense. So we're gonna go here type thing. That's 6 type thing in that type of sense. And that's 6. Pips are using a lot of things, but I believe in like Star Trek Next Generation, the gold disc on their collar representing their rank, like from captain and lieutenant type thing, those are called pips. Command pips type thing, or God, they're not command pips, or whatever, you know, in that type of sense. But they're like insignia pips, and so, but I know they don't call them. They will just say insignia pips type thing. That represents the command, but there's probably an official name for if it's in different branches like the Navy or Marines or Air Force or Army or Rangers or Delta or SEALs or outstanding stuff. And thanks for your service there. And from there, and Coast Guard, National Guard type thing, and everybody in that, reserves and at home and abroad. Okay, and from that type thing, we've got our outstanding. And so from that's your 3 Scorching Rays in one day at first level type thing with the Precocious Apprentice, and you still have your magic missiles to go through type thing. So now that's your 15 type thing in that type of sense. And assuming that all those roll 6s every time, that's 24 plus 24 plus 24, or 72. So we have to take this pip out type thing, and go ahead and lead that type thing in that type of sense with a 7. And in that type of sense, we need to lead that with another number type thing, and a 2. So in that type of thing, I'll use a D10. And let's see, what red for fire type thing in that type of sense. And so, oh, and it's got a bubble in it too. Look at that. That is outstanding. So now, with that type of thing, we have to go to another chart type thing. Let's remove our pips here type thing here. And that's for our character feats. And now we realize type thing in that type of sense that we looked at our first level spell type thing, and that's our magic missiles for 15, and we looked at our Scorching Rays of our second level spell, and there we go. So now in that type of thing, blue future marker type thing in that type of sense, we will be looking at fireballs. Well, anyway, type thing in that type of sense, and all those would be in conjunction along with specialty classes. Outstanding. Yeah. Thanks for listening, dudes and dudettes, and dudettes and dudes. Have a great one.